Sweden decides to switch from left to right. It has nothing to do with politics, you understand.
Imagine waking up to find your entire country's driving system flipped overnight. It's September 3rd, 1967, a day forever known in Swedish history as Dagen H or H-Day. On this monumental day, Sweden made the audacious move from driving on the left side of the road to the right, aligning themselves with their European neighbours. Intrigued? Let's delve into the fascinating story of how an entire nation adapted to this change in a single night. Now, imagine the chaos and the excitement of such a transition. But it didn't stop there. Soon after this traffic revolution, Stockholm unveiled a major new 6-lane motorway. This road was designed to cater to the bustling heart of the capital and was a marvel of its time. Fast forward to today, and this road, initially a shining beacon of modern infrastructure, is now struggling under the weight of Stockholm's ever-growing population. The city's traffic congestion has ballooned, and the motorway, even with additional lanes added over the years, is simply not keeping up. Drivers and residents alike are feeling the squeeze, and something had to give. Enter the Stockholm Bypass, a bold, audacious project that carries a staggering $4 billion price tag. So, what's the plan? Well, the bypass is an ambitious road and tunnel system designed to circle around the entire city of Stockholm. Once completed, it will stand as one of the longest road tunnels in the world, a true engineering marvel. Now, you might be thinking, why go underground? Building beneath a city is no small feat, especially a city like Stockholm, renowned for its beautiful waterways and picturesque islands. This isn't just a simple tunnel. It's a deep dive under some of the most iconic and complex terrain you could imagine. The stakes are high, but so are the rewards. Why is Sweden betting big on this tunnel? The answer lies in a mix of necessity and vision. Stockholm's population is on the rise, and with it, the pressure on its infrastructure. The current road network is stretched to its limits, and expanding above ground isn't a viable option anymore. Space is limited, and the need to preserve the city's aesthetic and historical integrity is paramount. So, the solution? Go deep. The Stockholm Bypass promises to ease the congestion by providing an alternative route that bypasses the inner city. This means smoother, faster journeys for commuters and less traffic choking the city's streets. Imagine cutting down your daily commute time while also enjoying a reduction in city noise and pollution. Sounds like a win-win, right? Of course, tunneling under such a complex landscape comes with its own set of challenges. Engineers are tasked with navigating through rocky ground and ensuring the stability of the tunnel beneath the waterways. It's a race against time and nature to dig their way out of this problem, but the payoff could be transformative. When completed, the Stockholm Bypass will not only be a testament to modern engineering, but also a vital artery that breathes new life into the city's transport network. It's a bold gamble, but if there's one thing Sweden has shown us, from Dagen H to now, it's that they're not afraid to make bold moves when it comes to their infrastructure. Even though Stockholm boasts an extensive public transit network, driving remains the most popular way to get around. But the roadways are feeling the strain, and something needs to be done. Enter the E4 Bypass, a massive $4 billion project aimed at easing the city's congestion. So, what's the E4 Bypass all about? Let's break it down. Starting south of the city in Skärholmen, this 21-kilometre system will feature a colossal 18-kilometre tunnel. It will loop around to the north, ending in Häggvik, effectively diverting traffic away from the city centre to the west. Imagine the relief for daily commuters and the reduction in city traffic. This isn't just any tunnel though. We're talking about a twin set of tunnel tubes, each carrying 3 lanes of traffic. That's 6 lanes in total, designed to handle the increasing number of vehicles. Now, let's get into some of the engineering marvels of this project. At its deepest point, the route will reach nearly 100 meters below ground level. Picture that, almost the height of a 30-story building. Navigating this complex terrain under Stockholm's waterways and islands is no small feat, but Swedish engineers are up to the challenge. When the E4 bypass is completed in 2030, it will be one of the longest road tunnel systems in the world. This isn't just a tunnel, it's a crucial investment in Stockholm's future, designed to handle the growing traffic and improve the quality of life for its residents. So why is Stockholm betting big on this super deep tunnel? It's all about foresight and necessity. The current road network is maxed out, and expanding above ground simply isn't an option. Space is limited, and preserving the city's historical and aesthetic integrity is crucial. The solution? Go underground and create a bypass that not only addresses today's traffic woes, but also prepares the city for future growth. To clear the route, workers began by drilling a ring of holes into the rock. These holes are injected with a mixture of cement and water, creating a barrier once it hardens, preventing water from seeping in through any natural cracks. After sealing the cracks, more holes are drilled and filled with blasting material. Piece by piece, the rocks are blasted away and removed, gradually shaping the tunnel. This method requires precision and patience. It's not just about brute force, it's about carefully managing the stability of the surrounding earth and ensuring the tunnel remains safe and secure. The process is meticulous and time-consuming, reflecting the complexity and scale of the project. Remember, this isn't just any tunnel. At its deepest point, it will be nearly 100 meters below ground level. The E4 bypass is designed to handle the future of Stockholm's traffic while preserving the city's charm and functionality. It's a bold bet on the future, showing Sweden's commitment to innovative infrastructure solutions. Building the Stockholm Bypass is no small feat. Excavating the 22 million tons of rock and sand needed to make way for the tunnels will take years. Once a section is carved out, workers reinforce the tunnel with rock bolts and spray the walls with concrete. After that, they add an inner wall and an outer ceiling to ensure that no water seeps in. Excavating the tunnels is just one part of the challenge. Ensuring driver safety is critically important. Let's be honest, if you're driving deep underground, you want to be sure you'll make it out safely on the other side. That's where a state-of-the-art ventilation system comes in, featuring 250 reversible jet fans and 4 exhaust air stations to maintain air quality. In case of a vehicle fire, a water-based suppression system will be built into the tunnel ceilings in 50-meter-long sections throughout the entire tunnel. Constructing a tunnel under a city is far more technically complex than building a traditional road, but the benefits are significant. Tunneling helps reduce the project's environmental impact and preserves more space above ground for housing and other developments. This approach aligns with Stockholm's commitment to sustainable urban planning and preserving its unique charm. The E4 bypass is more than just a tunnel. It's a visionary solution to a pressing problem. With Stockholm's population set to grow dramatically, the city needs a robust infrastructure that can handle increased traffic while maintaining its quality of life. This bypass is a testament to Sweden's forward-thinking approach to urban development. Now, this all sounds like a lot of work to construct new infrastructure for cars at a time when people are being encouraged to take public transit over driving. Sweden is even banning petrol and diesel cars from parts of the city to clean up its air. This is part of a broader goal to reduce carbon emissions by 30% by 2030. Officials estimate that traffic emissions from the new bypass will only contribute less than 1% of CO2 emissions. The Stockholm Bypass has been a long-awaited project. Originally, it was supposed to be finished in 2018. But here we are in 2024, and the roadway is still under construction. It's not expected to be completed until the end of the decade. To make matters more complex, the project has blown through its initial $3.3 billion budget by nearly $1 billion due to contract cancellations, worksite safety issues, and political hurdles. As Stockholm's population continues to swell rapidly, the city doesn't have much more time for additional delays. Traffic in the city centre is already feeling strained, so the completion of the bypass will be a welcome relief. This is one of Sweden's largest ever infrastructure projects, and the light at the end of the tunnel is growing brighter. All eyes are on Sweden to see its success. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section. Can a $19 billion plan truly transform New York's JFK Airport into a modern marvel? As one of the busiest airports in the world, JFK has long struggled with outdated facilities and congestion.
JFK is the worst airport in the country when it comes to dealing with luggage.
At JFK Airport, a temporary system outage at customs left travelers waiting for hours in security line.
Now, a massive overhaul aims to revitalize this iconic gateway. But what does this ambitious project entail, and how will it impact travelers in the city? Let's dive into the details of the bold plan to save JFK Airport. Now, New York City is the epitome of a world-class metropolis, renowned for its towering skyscrapers, vibrant culture, and bustling streets. But is it largest airport? Not so much. JFK has gained quite a notorious reputation among travelers, from being ranked the worst airport for luggage handling to incidents like a temporary customs outage that left passengers stranded for hours and a water main break that flooded Terminal 4. It's safe to say JFK has seen better days.
A water main break flooded most of Terminal 4 at JFK International Airport yesterday.
JFK was celebrated as one of the top airports in the country. It boasted modern facilities and cutting-edge design and handled more international traffic than any other airport in the world. Originally called Idlewild Airport, it opened in 1948 to relieve congestion at LaGuardia, featuring 6 runways and 5 architecturally stunning terminals. The airport quickly became the first to serve passenger jets, marking its place as a pioneer in aviation. But over the years, JFK's glory began to fade. Outdated facilities, frequent delays, and a chaotic layout turned the once proud airport into a source of frustration for many. However, there's a new chapter on the horizon for JFK, one that promises to restore its former prestige. One of the major complaints about JFK is its disjointed layout, which often leads to confusion and long walks between terminals. The overhaul includes a complete redesign of the airport's layout, creating a more cohesive and easily navigable space. This means shorter walking distances, better signage, and improved accessibility for all travelers. But perhaps the most exciting part of the overhaul is the construction of a brand new terminal. This new terminal will be a game changer for JFK, offering modern architecture, cutting-edge technology, and a seamless travel experience. With larger gate areas, more efficient security checkpoints, and advanced baggage handling systems, this terminal is set to become the crown jewel of JFK. The goal of this $19 billion project is clear: to take JFK back to new heights and reclaim its status as a world-class aviation center. It's a bold vision, but one that is already underway, with construction happening as we speak. So, why should you care about this overhaul? Well, if you've ever traveled through JFK, you know the struggles all too well. But beyond that, this project is a testament to the importance of investing in infrastructure. Airports are gateways to the world, and a world-class city like New York deserves a world-class airport. So, what went wrong? Unlike most airports where terminals are controlled by a central operator and connected through a unified area, JFK operates differently. It originally had 6 disconnected terminals, 5 of which are still active, each managed by different airlines. This makes transferring between terminals a nightmare, especially during layovers. To make matters worse, the terminals are numbered 1 through 8, with a few missing numbers adding to the confusion. For years, travelers have dreaded passing through JFK, but with a projected 100 million annual passengers by 2050, city officials finally decided it was time to act. Enter the $19 billion transformation plan, which aims to turn JFK into a unified, interconnected, world-class airport. At the heart of this ambitious project is the new Terminal 1. Spanning 2.5 million square feet with 23 gates, it will be nearly the size of LaGuardia's 2 new terminals combined, making it JFK's largest terminal. This expansion will give global airlines the flexibility to upgrade aircraft as needed, ensuring they can meet the growing demand. The new Terminal 1 will boast new departures, arrivals, and customs hall, complete with state-of-the-art public spaces, amenities, and advanced technology. This includes the use of biometrics to provide a seamless experience through the airport, reducing wait times and enhancing security. The terminal will also feature a solar array thanks to a partnership with Alpha Structure, making it more sustainable and environmentally friendly. Set to be completed in phases, the new Terminal 1 is expected to be finished by 2030, with new halls and a portion of the gates ready by 2026. But that's not all. Terminal 6 will also undergo a massive transformation, stretching 1.2 million square feet across a 2-level concourse. This terminal will feature a giant new check-in space and a centralized security area, reducing the need for passengers to drag their luggage far. The East Hall will house additional dining and retail facilities, ultimately connecting to Terminal 5 and making connections between the two seamless. Construction of Terminal 6 is expected to finish around 2028. None of this regeneration would be possible without the engineering teams behind it. Parsons Corporation, today's video sponsor, is the lead designer for the reconstruction of roadways, the new ground-to-transportation centre, and the relocation of utilities to provide more reliable service for the airport. This alone will cost $1.24 billion. The goal of this ambitious project is clear: to restore JFK to its former glory and beyond. This overhaul will not only enhance the travel experience, but also boost tourism and business opportunities for New York City. A world-class city deserves a world-class airport, and this project is a testament to that vision. Parsons Corporation, the engineering powerhouse behind this project, is set to simplify roadway operations and create a more travel-friendly experience for the 62 million passengers who pass through JFK annually. One of the highlights is the modern ground transportation centre, which will include a new multi-level parking facility. This facility will feature EV charging stations and an eco-conscious timber facade. Additionally, a 400-foot-long elevated pedestrian bridge will link key areas, complemented by a rainwater harvesting facility and solar paneling. Parsons is passionate about delivering smart infrastructure that enhances global connectivity. Their expertise ranges from traditional program and construction management to digital solutions, PFAS decontamination, and more, ensuring comprehensive solutions that optimize project delivery and operations while improving the traveler experience worldwide. But let's get back to JFK. The modernization isn't limited to the construction of new terminals. The existing ones will also see significant upgrades, including new shops, restaurants, and overall enhancements. However, the outdated terminals are just part of the problem. One of the biggest issues JFK faces is the disjointed connection between its facilities. To address this, JFK Airport is reconfiguring its entire roadway transportation network. New roads, bridges, and enhanced traffic technologies will make it easier for travelers to navigate between terminals. A key improvement is the reduction of roadway loops from 5 to 2 main loops, simplifying navigation for drivers and reducing congestion. Included in this redesign is a new multi-level parking facility with nearly 2,000 spaces and an eco-friendly timber exterior. A 400-foot pedestrian bridge equipped with rainwater harvesting technology will connect this facility to the new Terminal 1, ensuring that passengers can move seamlessly between parking and the terminal. One of the most significant construction challenges is JFK's location. Surrounded by dense neighbourhoods and congested highways, delivering and hauling away materials is a logistical nightmare. Instead of relying solely on trucks, workers are turning to the waterways. Barges carrying rocks and sand will navigate from as far north as the New York Catskills, travelling down the Hudson River and across the bay to a makeshift dock on the western side of the airport. This innovative approach minimises traffic disruptions and ensures a steady supply of materials. Why should you care about this transformation? If you've ever navigated the chaos of JFK, you know the struggles all too well. But beyond personal convenience, this project underscores the importance of investing in infrastructure. Airports are gateways to the world, and enhancing them can significantly impact the economy and global connectivity. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section. Why is Mississippi the way it is? There's no delicate way to put this. Mississippi has the worst state economy in the entire USA. What factors have led to this dire situation, and what can be done to change it? Let's delve into the history, challenges, and potential solutions for turning Mississippi's economy around. Let's break it down. Mississippi holds the unfortunate title of having the lowest GDP per capita among all the states. Its labour force participation rates are among the lowest, meaning fewer people are working or looking for work. This state also has the highest poverty rate and one of the slowest growth rates in the world's largest economy. These aren't just numbers on a page, they translate into very real quality of life problems for the people living there. For instance, Mississippi has one of the lowest life expectancies and overall human development levels in the country. The average person from Mississippi lives 5 years less and earns almost half as much as the average US citizen. That's a stark contrast. In any large group, like the states that make up the USA, there are bound to be some that rank well and others that rank poorly. But what's particularly intriguing about Mississippi's economic struggles is that this state used to be the richest in the nation. Yes, you heard that right. At one point, Mississippi was at the top. Imagine Luxembourg trading places with Moldova in the European Union. That's the level of shift we're talking about here. This decline didn't happen overnight. It's been a slow process over the past century. And that makes Mississippi a fascinating economic case study. What went wrong? Why did this state go from first to last? To understand this, we need to unpack the root causes of Mississippi's decline. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a story that offers insights into the challenges of operating within a larger economy where almost every other state can offer its citizens better opportunities, better living standards, and better support systems. Consider the broader context. Every other state in the US offers more in terms of economic opportunities, quality of life, and social support. When you're competing in such an environment, how does a state like Mississippi turn things around? Is it even possible? Or is Mississippi destined to remain an economic underperformer in a country full of overachievers? One reason for Mississippi's decline is its reliance on agriculture, particularly cotton, in its early economic history. While this made Mississippi wealthy in the 19th century, the lack of diversification hurt the state as the economy evolved and industrialized. Other states adapted and diversified their economies, while Mississippi lagged behind. Education is another critical factor. Mississippi has historically had lower investment in education compared to other states. This has long-term effects, as a less educated workforce is less adaptable to the changing demands of the modern economy. States that prioritize education typically see better economic outcomes, and Mississippi's underinvestment here has certainly played a role in its economic struggles. Infrastructure is yet another piece of the puzzle. Poor infrastructure makes it difficult to attract and retain businesses, which in turn hampers economic growth. When you compare Mississippi's infrastructure to more economically successful states, the differences are stark. Additionally, social and economic policies have had their impact. Policies that don't support business development or adequately address social issues can create an environment where growth is stifled. Back in the early days of the USA, Mississippi was riding high on the hog, thanks primarily to its booming agriculture sector. This agricultural success translated into substantial wealth, making Mississippi the wealthiest state in the Union for quite some time. But how did Mississippi go from being the richest to the poorest state? The story of Mississippi's decline is a classic example of the pitfalls of economic over-reliance on a single industry. As other states industrialized and diversified their economies, Mississippi lagged behind, sticking primarily to agriculture. The Civil War and its aftermath devastated Mississippi's economy. The abolition of slavery meant the loss of the labor system that had underpinned the state's wealth. The transition was tumultuous and left Mississippi economically crippled for years. Economic growth relies on good infrastructure, and Mississippi has consistently lagged in this area. Poor roads, limited public transport, and inadequate utilities make it difficult to attract and retain businesses. Social and economic policies that didn't support business development and failed to adequately address social issues have further stifled growth. Other states have created more business-friendly environments and better social safety nets, putting Mississippi at a disadvantage. Is there a way for Mississippi to turn things around and regain relevance in the modern economic landscape? Some experts believe it's possible, but it won't be easy. Prioritizing education can create a more skilled workforce, attracting businesses that need talented employees. This means higher incomes and better job opportunities for residents. Upgrading infrastructure would make the state more attractive to businesses and improve the quality of life for its residents. Better roads, utilities, and internet access are crucial. Moving beyond agriculture and attracting industries like technology, manufacturing, and services could provide a more stable economic base. Diversification is key to resilience. Implementing policies that support business development, innovation, and entrepreneurship can create a more dynamic economy. This includes tax incentives, grants, and support for startups. As we've seen globally, investments in technology can massively improve productivity and living standards without necessarily increasing costs. This is where Mississippi could take a page from more successful states and nations. Mississippi's early economic history was dominated by plantations that exploited enslaved labor, resulting in minimal labor costs and maximum utilization of the region's fertile land. This combination allowed the state to thrive on its cash crops, which were in high demand globally. In economic terms, the production of any good relies on three key components: land, labor, and capital. Mississippi's effective use of free labor and fertile land reduced the necessity for capital investments, such as roads, machinery, factories, and tools. Interestingly, in that era, enslaved people were treated almost like capital rather than labor. They were considered investments to boost the productivity of plantations, much like machinery would in other industries. Wealthy plantation owners, therefore, had little incentive to invest in modern capital assets, such as automated farm equipment, when they could simply purchase more enslaved people and provide them with basic tools. Moreover, Mississippi's geography, characterized by the extensive waterways of the Mississippi Delta, diminished the need for infrastructure development like roads. The ease of transporting goods via these waterways meant that almost all industries were situated along the rivers. Consequently, the areas between these rivers remained sparsely populated well into the 20th century. Even after the Civil War, Mississippi's economic policies remained heavily skewed towards traditional agriculture, despite the burgeoning potential of the mechanical industry that was revolutionizing other economies. The state had the resources to excel in emerging industries, a sizable labor force, access to ocean trade routes, and potential links to European markets. Policymakers and potential industrialists of the time were averse to the idea of black people working in factories, further stalling industrialization. Thus, the very factors that had contributed to Mississippi's economic strength in the early 19th century became its impediments by the century's end. The reliance on slave labor had created a wealthy, isolated class of landowners who saw little benefit in investing in industrial infrastructure or diversifying the economy. In 1865, 55% of Mississippi's population were former slaves. Although they were no longer enslaved, their new reality was fraught with difficulties. They were now responsible for their own livelihoods without any support or resources. The state was left with a population that was largely uneducated and deeply divided, with few opportunities for advancement. The new state constitution, which favoured agricultural interests, only compounded these issues, preventing the state from leveraging its potential in other sectors and leaving it economically stagnant. The recorded wealth of Mississippi saw a dramatic collapse post-Civil War, not just due to the loss of its primary industry, but also because of a significant shift in how assets were counted. Frequent flooding, tropical diseases, tornadoes, and poor soil quality hindered collective progress. Even today, these environmental issues make doing business in Mississippi more challenging than in many other parts of the USA. Imagine trying to build wealth with the constant threat of natural disasters. If one person can keep their home and investments intact, while another's assets are repeatedly destroyed, the former will naturally accumulate more wealth over time. This analogy scales up to the state level, highlighting the persistent economic predicament Mississippi faces. In summary, Mississippi's historical reliance on agriculture and slave labor created a narrow, fragile economic base. The loss of slave labor, combined with environmental challenges and resistance to industrialization, left the state struggling to adapt to the changing economic landscape. This legacy of limited capital investment, environmental adversity, and social division continues to influence Mississippi's economic trajectory. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section.